So I'm fascinated by this new understanding. We're learning, we're understanding how manifestation happens, how we start the process, how we do this on purpose. The heart is a generator. Everything happens by desire. It's what fuels creation, and it's meant to feel good. That's what desire is. You want something because it feels good. Ultimately, because it feels good to want it. It's meant to feel good all along the way. To want it, to dream it into being, to know it's being created, to know that it's delivered to you, and then to receive it and enjoy it. That's how it's designed. That's how it works. And when we're in the sweet spot, when desire is feeling good and we're having fun with it, it's balanced. The energy feels balanced, and it is balanced, which is a part of why it feels so good. There's not too much masculine or too much feminine, too much water or too much fire. They're working together, and it feels like delight. It feels like fun. It feels like satisfaction and assurance. It feels like joy and ease. It feels like interest. It feels like driving a car that's a nice car and that handles really well, and you're just cruising around these corners and turns and along this open road, and it's satisfying. It feels good in your hands to have your hands on that wheel, and you feel comfortable and confident there and excited by your strength and your agility. And that is the sweet spot. That's the spot we're aiming for. And I'm starting to understand more about what Abraham Hicks is talking about and why it sometimes seems that there's contradiction in the discussion of how do we go about manifesting? What are we aiming for internally? What's the state? Because it depends where you are. Sometimes they say sharpen your focus and get really clear. Sometimes they say diffuse your focus and go general. Those are both important steps, but it's because this thing is constantly in motion. And they're advice for opposite sides of the experience. Again, what we're aiming for is this middle ground where it doesn't feel too slow or too fast. It's the Goldilocks zone. It feels just right. Oh, I just realized I left my incense burning. Whoops. And it burned too fast because I left that flame going instead of calming it down a little. So when we're in the state of fear, which has been what's been happening for me recently, that's the state where maybe Abraham Hicks would talk about you've let your desire get out ahead of you a little bit. It's gotten a little too big for you because you want to dream and dream and dream. You want to put your energy and your excitement and your passion into the dream and into the desiring and basking in it. But if it gets going a little too fast, If it gets out a little bit too far ahead of your belief and it stops feeling good to you, because you just can't seem to line up your belief with it, and now your desire feels scary. Or, as often happens, things start happening. Things start manifesting. What you asked for starts appearing. And then it triggers whatever else is going on internally, whatever other egoic identities, wounds, other stuff in there, which, as it always does, your desire just flows around. Again, nothing stops you from receiving, nothing stops you from manifesting, but a lot of times when we get what we ask for, we freak out in it. The mind freaks out in it because it's new, it's unfamiliar, it's actually receiving the desire. It's not used to that kind of thing. There's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of reasons to suddenly feel afraid of receiving what you want and what you asked for. And so if you find yourself in that place of fear, this is what I'm experimenting with and coming to an understanding of. When you find yourself feeling fear, whether it is whatever stage of the manifestation you're in, if you're feeling fear, that is just your sign to introduce a little calm. The energy around you is flowing at whatever speed it's flowing. It's gonna flow. Energy flows. We do not control the speed of environmental energy, but we do control our experience of it. We control our movement through it. And so if we are in a state of boredom and we want things to speed up a little bit, we can start stirring. We can start moving a little more quickly in that current. And if we find that we're starting to feel frantic because we've been paddling and suddenly we feel like we're paddling too hard and things are moving too fast, then we can stop paddling. We can just put the paddle down and let things kind of cruise. It's not putting on the brakes, it's just allowing that momentum to relax a little bit. We've added some momentum, we've increased it because that felt fun, because previously, and this is the other side, we were in a state perhaps of boredom. So that's too little fire. Too little passion. That means it feels like disinterest. It feels like things are moving too slow. Or like nothing is happening. You feel bored. You feel maybe impatient, listless, uninspired. You don't really have any strong desires. Desire feels limp. It feels dull. There's nothing for you to believe in. You're not applying yourself to anything. You're not applying the power of your belief, and you're dreaming and you're imagining. That means you're asking for desire in that state. You're asking for something to want, something to feel that feeling for. So that's the time when you start dreaming. You start adding, you start amping it up. You start saying, what is it that I really want? Let me step into the daydream. What is it that sounds really wonderful? Because you're in this place of calm, maybe a little too calm. Things aren't moving. It feels stagnant. So now you're introducing energy. That's when you're sharpening and enhancing your focus on the desire, on the dream, really calling it in to clarity and dreaming into it. What's there? What is it that I see in this daydream? Let me smell it and taste it and feel it and hear it. Let me watch these details fill in. That's when you're imagining and stepping into that place, and you're playing and you're inviting energy to flow. You're turning up the heat. You're adding the passion, the inspiration. You're dreaming deliberately. Maybe you're, in fact, I am learning how movement of the body really plays a role in this. So if I'm feeling bored, then it's time for me to start moving. It's time for me to start jumping around and dancing and doing whatever it is to get things kind of moving in me, get some passion, some inspiration, some excitement going. Then we're speeding up, we're adding fire, increasing the speed of this car that we're driving, because we've been driving at a comfortable pace where it was easy and it was slow and it was a little boring. So we start moving quicker. And now we're feeling good, we're feeling confident and enjoying the feeling of motion, of that increase. We're enjoying our strength and our ability and our agility in this. And that's where desire feels good. And we're basking in it, we're believing it, we're desiring and knowing that the desire is received. Our belief and our desire are equal, and we're enjoying the whole process. We're enjoying the journey there. And it's just fun and ease and flow and satisfaction. And again, that's the sweet spot. That's where everything feels good. And if we get a little bit too much fire and we step into fear and we start going, gosh, things are moving, for whatever reason, whether the manifestations are coming in and suddenly they're here and we're going, oh my God, they're here. And it's triggered all of this other stuff, and now we feel the fear. Or if for whatever reason we find that our belief is not aligning with our desire, that we're just struggling to feel confident in it, then that's okay. If we find ourselves in the doubt and the overthinking or trying to figure out how is this going to happen, how is this going to work, that's just a sign to go general again, to diffuse, to slow down, to invite relaxation. Where before we were inviting some passion, now we're inviting things to just relax a little bit instead of being in the dream deliberately, because that is no longer feeling so good. Now we're going to focus back into presence, into just being, and we're going to slow our movement in the current. We're still getting everywhere we're going, and we're getting there exactly in the right time. And this doesn't mean not taking action. It doesn't mean letting fear stop you from anything. It means trusting. It means stepping back into that place of trusting, okay, things are in motion. Before, we were saying, let's get something in motion. Let's get it rolling. Now we're going, okay, things are in motion. They are. And I'm just trusting that they are. And I'm letting everything take place. I'm letting it all come to me. I don't have to do anything here. I can put down the paddle, right? If there is an action to take, This is where I find myself going, oh my God, I need to do something, but I don't see what to do. I don't see the next step. This is where it's time to just breathe and be and say the step will be presented to me. And my only goal now is to relax, to introduce and invite some of this calm, this relaxation. My desire's gotten out pretty good ways. It's gotten out ahead of me a bit, ahead of my belief. It's on its own. It's got its own legs, its own momentum. I'm letting it go, essentially. I'm not giving it up. I am letting it be autonomous. I am letting my desire out into the world, knowing that it's grown, it's provided for, it's taken care of itself. It's got its own momentum now. I added the momentum to it, and now it's got enough for me to just let it go, and it takes off on its own. And now I get to just trust that it's out there, it's doing its thing. Everything is working for me, everything is working for my desire. I am going to just breathe and relax. It's as if I raised this little child of desire. I seeded it with my love, with my wanting. I dreamed it into being. I've fueled it with my excitement and my passion, and now it's grown and it's sprouted its own wings, and now I get to just let it take flight and just breathe here and be and trust that it's all happening, it's all taken care of. My desire is taken care of. I am taken care of. Now I'm introducing slow. If I get to this place where I feel that the energy is moving quickly, we're in a quicker part of this current, or for whatever reason, again, I am sensing that my speed is great and it's gotten just past that point where I'm comfortable driving this car. I've been pushing and pushing and pushing and accelerating and really enjoying the speed, and I just passed that threshold where now I'm going, oh, this is fast. Oh, this is really fast. And I don't feel so comfortable and safe now. That's just my sign to, again, not put on the brakes, just ease off the gas. Just, here we are. We're just gonna let go a little bit of the momentum and step back into trust and introduce slow motion. That's why I made a pot of tea today. We're going to do things with deliberate slowness at this point. And we're just trusting and accepting. We're just soothing ourselves back into that place. We're putting down the thoughts, putting down the imagination, returning to stillness, returning to presence. We're not rejecting anything. We're not changing the flow. We're not fighting the flow. We're just changing our perception, our experience. If we felt like we were moving a little too quickly, nothing is really changing in our action. We're just doing it more slowly, with more deliberate intention and calm and focus. Just returning to the present moment and really being here. And everything is as it should be. And we're trusting that the path unfolds before us, that there's nothing more for us to do here. There will be a time again, very soon, where we get to start desiring and turning up the heat and the juice, dreaming deliberately. Right now is our time to just be. We've dreamed a dream. It has taken flight. It's filling in before our very eyes. Now we get to just let it. We get to just let it. So here, we're easing, we're diffusing, we're going general, we're relaxing into what's coming in, seeing, knowing that it is in fact coming in, going, okay, here we go. It's coming. I'm just letting it wash over me. I put my paddle down, and I'm just going to float down this river. And because we're now easing off the fire, the water can rise a little bit, and we're stepping back into that place of balance. And so that's what it's all about. We feel the boredom, there's not enough fire, we introduce some fire, we heat things up, we get the generator moving. We press on the gas, we accelerate, we start the excitement and the passion. And when that gets just a little bit out of hand, and we've pushed it as far as it can go, and now we're into fear, and our belief isn't quite there with the desire. We've got the momentum, we've got the ball rolling, now we let go of the ball. We're not pushing it anymore. We're not adding anything more to it. We're just easing off. We're letting it go and stepping back into that peace, that knowledge that everything is well. Our desire is taken care of. We are taken care of. We can just dwell in this space where it's calm and comfortable. And no, we're not going to miss anything. When the actionable step is available, it will present itself to us, and we will just flow easily into that action. We're not getting out of the car. We're staying right here. We're just trusting. We're trusting. this is now driving itself a little bit, right? We're trusting that we put enough intention and enough momentum into it that it's gonna get there. We're gonna get there. This is gonna get us where we're going. We've been pushing on the gas. Now, again, we ease off the gas, but we're not putting on the brakes, and we're just coasting easily to the destination, which is the desired manifestation. We're not racing there. We're letting it be met, and we know we're gonna just coast right there so that we just come to this easy, natural unification with it, this natural meeting of the self and the desire. That's it. That's it. So exploring this process, these ideas, this understanding that what we're looking for and what we're learning is how to dance with this, how to balance, to find that sweet spot where everything feels good, where desire feels good to us because it's intended to be, where it's not too limp and it's not so hot that it's too hot to handle. But it's desire all along the way. We never stop desiring. It's playing with that. We're playing with that, and we're finding the way into the Goldilocks zone of just fun, having fun with this. If we want some passion, we invite some passion and intensity, and we can do that. We can stir that energy up. If we want some relaxation and some calm, we can ease into that. We can cool just a little bit into that. It's never one thing or the other forever. It's this balance of this flow. The cool will heat up again. The hot will cool down again. It's continuous. It's eternal. We can trust that. And when we get really good at that, then we figure out how to stay in that sweet spot where we become really sensitive. If it goes a little bit this direction, we feel it right away and go, okay, I know what to do here. I ease off and I'm back in my sweet spot. And if I ease off a little too much and it gets some this direction, I go, okay, I feel that quickly. I'm going to excite it a little bit, just enough to get me back into my Goldilocks zone, where I'm feeling good, where energy is balanced, where things are flowing with ease, where I feel assurance and satisfaction, and I'm just having fun. I feel that sense of lightness, of levity. It's just easy. It's just so easy. I'm enjoying myself here. That's where we're learning to be. That's it. I mean, that's the place where everything comes with ease, where there is little resistance. You're just in appreciation and reception. Things are always coming to you. We're just learning how to balance our own energy, how to flow our own energy. And when we flow it, this is your superpower. If your superpower is flowing energy, we got to learn how this works. At first, we go all out. We turn the spigot on all the way. And then we're going, I can't control this fire hose. So we turn it down and maybe we shut it off completely. And then we go, I don't like that either. Turn it back on, get it back. And then we're back to the fire hose. It's just a matter of relaxing, learning, okay, I don't have to have it all or nothing. I can turn it up a little bit and a little bit and a little bit more to a place that feels good to me. And then maybe I turn it up a little bit more and I see where that goes. And if that feels like a little more than I'm comfortable with, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to push my limits. But when I get to that place where I'm like, whoa, this is out of control, again, I'm not going to shut it off. I'm just going to know I can ease off a little bit. I'm not pulling back. I'm just relaxing my extension here. I'm just calming a little bit. I'm letting the velocity decrease. I'm not adding to it anymore. That's all it is. I'm letting it sustain. I'm not pushing it. I'm letting it be. We're just playing with that, learning more and more how to feel ourselves into this sweet spot that feels so sweet. It feels good. And we're getting better and better at it. We really are. And I have a nice ball of energy here that I'm enjoying. Just feeling. And I'm going to just integrate this sensation of balance and ease and having everything that I need exactly as it should be. Exactly the right balance of things. And I'm compressing this ball just a little bit because I'm going to absorb it and integrate it. Infusing my system with balance. Just an infusion of balanced energy, teaching my body, my mental and emotional body, my etheric and energetic body, what that feels like. This is our optimal state. This is our desired state, one of balance, one where we get to flow. We get to increase, we get to decrease, we get to have fun. We get to have fun with this. That's it. That's it. It's meant to be fun. If it stops feeling fun, then we find a way back into the feeling of fun. If it feels like boredom, then we stir something up and get excited. If it feels like this is a little much, then we just calm down a little bit. We ease off. There's nothing serious here, one way or the other. We are just playing. And all of it can feel good. Infused into my system. So it is. We're getting really good at this. We're figuring this out. And it's only ever gonna get better. It only ever gets better. Have a beautiful day. You magical creature, you.